Hey, welcome back. Today I'm going to react to Voiceplay doing The Little Mermaid. I've seen this a lot of times. The first time I saw it, there were no words at all, and I can't wait to watch it again. Still, I love it. Every time I see it, I love it. So it's not going to be like a completely organic reaction, I guess. Like, it's not my first time watching this, but I'm still not going to fake it because it's so good.
I'll tell you a tale of the bottomless blue with its hay to the starboard heave-ho. Heave-ho. Look out, lads, a mermaid be waiting for you in mysterious fathoms below. Fathoms below, low.
Look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything? I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I've got who's its and what's its galore. You want thingamabobs? I got 20, but who cares? No big deal. I want more. When's it my turn? Wouldn't I love to explore the shore above, out of the sea? Wish I could be part of that.
Ariel, listen to me. The human world is a mess. The seaweed is always greener in somebody else's lake. You dream about going up there, but that is a big mistake. Just look at the world around you, right here on the ocean floor. Such wonderful things around you.
What more is you looking for?
Under the sea, said under the sea, yeah. Darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me. Oh, up on the shore they work all day. Out in the sun they slave away. While we devoting full time to floating under the sea. The nude play the flute, the clock play the harp, the place play the bass, the day sound and sharp, the bass play the brass, the chub play the dub, and all that blowfish blow.
Who are you?
Don't be scared. We represent someone who can help. I admit that in the past I've been a nasty. They weren't kidding when they called me, well, a witch. But you'll find that nowadays I've mended all my ways, repented, seen the light, and made a switch.
True? Yes.
And I fortunately know a little magic. It's a talent that I always have possessed.
And dear lady, please don't laugh. I use it on behalf of
The miserable, the lonely, and depressed.
pathetic.
Poor unfortunate souls in pain.
Indeed. This one longing to be thinner, that one wants to get the girl, and do I help them? Yes, indeed.
Those poor unfortunate souls are so sad, so true. They come flocking to my cauldron, crying, "Spells of the
Do
beast."
I help them? Yes, I do. Oh, but there is one more thing. We haven't discussed the subject of payment.
But I don't have
Well, I'm not asking much. What I want from you is your voice.
If you want to cross the bridge, my sweet, you've got to pay the toll. Take a gulp and take a breath and go ahead and sign the scroll. Flotsam, jetsam, now we've got our boys. The boss is on a roll. This poor unfortunate soul.
Belugas are frugal wings of the Caspian Sea. Larynxis, glossitis, and max laryngitis, la voce de me. Keep singing.
poissons, les poissons.
How I love les poissons. Love to chop and serve little fish.
First I cut off their head, then I pull out their bones. Ah mais oui, ça c'est toujours délicieux. Les poissons, les poissons.
With a cleaver I hack them too. I pull out what's inside and I serve it up fried. 'Cause I love little fishes, don't you?
Nothing is happening. Time for a little vocal romantic stimulation.
There you see her, sitting there across the way. She don't got a lot to say, but there's something about her. And you don't know why, but you're dying to try. You wanna kiss the girl. Yes, you want her. Look at her, you know you do. It's possible she wants you to, but there's one way to ask her. It don't take a word, not a single word. You wanna kiss the girl.
Sing it with me now.
Sha la 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 la, don't be scared. You got the mood prepared. Go on and kiss the girl. Sha la 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 la, don't stop it now. Don't try to hide it how you wanna kiss the girl. Sha la 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 la, float along and listen to the song. The song say kiss the girl. Sha la 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 la, the music play. Do what the music say. Kiss the girl. Kiss the girl. Kiss the girl.
What a lovely little bride, I'll make my dear look different. Things are working out according to my ultimate design. Soon I'll have that little mermaid and the ocean will be mine.
Now we can walk, now we can run.
Now we can stay all day in the sun. Just you and me.
Just you and me. Walk.
And I can be home under the sea. Under the sea.
Sing it with me now. Pathetic.
They are so good. The reason I love this piece of theirs so much is because it's so full. I think the reason that it sounds so full is because they've put a lot of vocal layers in. Obviously, this is pre-recorded. I just love it. What the layers have done, basically, you've got Rachel, I think at one point she's singing at least 2 different melody lines. So it's not just 5 voices. There's actually more like there's 7 or 8 voices at least in parts of this, which gives it that fullness. So you've got Lane and Jeff that are both down low on the bass and holding down the beat, and they both interchange that role in this. Jeff is also doing some of the kind of percussive side of the rhythmic bits with his bass voice down there, and that fills out those lower frequencies. The mid frequencies are held down by Jainan and Ellie. I'm saying that right this time, right? Ellie. And then the higher frequencies are held out by Rachel. And Ellie also does some of those top bits as well. He's got a wonderful head mixed range up there. So that is where they're coming in, and Rachel's taking care of the mezzo-soprano and soprano roles both on her own. So when you add all of those in, you're covering the entire frequency range. If you imagine your range kind of like a rainbow, you're making sure you're covering all of those parts. I think that's why it sounds so full and such a complete piece. You don't need any instruments in that song. That is enough. There's no space for anything else, and it's just right. So, I just love this piece. I quite often will just have it playing like in the background at home because there's nothing better you could want with this song. So let's go back and I will try and break down some of my favorite bits or things that I think will be particularly interesting to you. Yeah.
I'll tell you a tale of the bottomless blue with its hay to the starboard heave-ho. Heave-ho. Look out, lads, a mermaid be waiting for you in mysterious fathoms below. Fathoms below.
So I feel like that's quite a nice range for Ellie. So it's kind of like a mid to maybe a lower range for his voice, but it's super smooth. It's lovely. Can we appreciate Lane's bubbles, please?
Look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything? I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I've got who's it's and what's it's galore. You want thingamabobs? I got 20, but who cares? No big deal.
So Rachel was starting the beginning of this in her chest mix. She naturally has a lovely higher tone in her chest mix area. She doesn't keep her vocal folds too thick. They are really lovely. And because she's doing that, it blends when she goes into her head mix. Her voice sounds so silky. Like, it's hard to tell because the tonality doesn't change for her. It's wonderful. Her head mix has kind of got a little bit of a nasally tone to it as well, which brings through some of that strength in that resonator. And yeah, she's great.
I want more. When's it my turn? Wouldn't I love to...
So here she's doing like a vocal flip and a cry at the same time on the start of Wouldn't I Love, or I Love maybe. That is really awesome that she can just play with her voice and do whatever, and it sounds so good.
To explore the shore above. Explore the shore above. Want more. When's it my turn? Wouldn't I love to explore the shore?
Spelore. Explore. Not explore. Explore. She's broke that down into different syllables so she can work the timing and the rhythmic placement of that bit. It sounds really unique. I've never heard anyone sing this part that way. And again, the agility on this is phenomenal.
Wouldn't I love to explore the shore above?
And that there is in a chest mix. So if you're comparing this maybe to the Hal Bailey, I'm sorry, I don't know the pronunciation of her first name, but she did a lot more in kind of a more head mix area. And Rachel's doing this a lot more in a heavier sound than what we had in those breathy overtones that we got from Halle Bailey. So that is the difference in sound that we can kind of think about whether we want to use a chest dominant mix or a head dominant mix, and what kind of overall sounds we want from it. Because this is filled out and it's got a big drum beat behind it, it's not got an orchestral sound behind it, which obviously the Disney version does. So I think this was a good choice for this. It really helps to add that build and add that climax in.
Out of the sea. Wish I could be part of that.
Ariel, listen to me. The human world is a mess. The seaweed is always greener in somebody else's lake. You dream about going up there, but that is a big mistake. Just look at the world around you, right here on the ocean floor. Such wonderful things around you.
What more is you looking for?
Under the sea, said under the sea, yeah.
Oh, I can't with J9. His voice is so good. Oh, his voice is so good and so agile. And all of this is just effortless for him. He's just bouncing up all over the place and not thinking about it. His vocal folds are so relaxed, but so strong at the same time. It's purposeful, but not overly controlled. He doesn't have to. His voice just knows every single pitch. All of these pitches are perfect. And I can tell you that even when you would ask him to sing these riffs and runs live, I can almost bet you that they would still be at a perfect pitch, which is really difficult. The difference between the frequencies for those tiny little pitch differences when we're going from a natural to a flat, sharps, vice versa, is tiny, especially when we're doing them this fast. It's just phenomenal. Riffs and running will forever blow my little mind.
Dream about going up there, but that is a big mistake.
He had a little flip in that. Going up there. Brings it back down into his chest register. It's just so gorgeous.
The seaweed is always greener in somebody else's lake. You dream about going up there, but that is a big mistake. Just look at the world around you, right here on the ocean floor. Such wonderful things around you.
What more is you looking for?
Under the...
I can't believe that Jeff's speaking voice is this low. And I know it is because I've watched some of his videos on YouTube because his voice intrigues me so much. But the fact that his speaking voice is naturally so low that was like a walk in the park for him.
Said under the sea, yeah. Darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me.
Can we appreciate that note that Jeff's doing? That's Jeff on the bottom part. Dum, dum, doing these little dum, 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 dums.
Such wonderful things around you.
What more is you looking for?
Under the sea. Said under the sea, yeah. Darling, it's better.
Dum, dum. We're at a D4 for Jeff on those little dum, 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 dums, whatever he's doing there. And they're holding down the rhythm. And a D4 is quite high for a Jeff. I really like that his range is also so wide. Like he can take it up fairly high when he wants to. And yeah, even doing that, like to fill out these frequencies it's just so well arranged.
Down where it's wetter, take it from me. Oh, up on the shore, they work all day. Said under the sea, yeah. Darling, it's better down where it's wetter, take it from me. Oh, up on the shore, they work all day. Out in the sun, they slave away.
It's fast to fit 3.5 octaves of notes into. I never noticed that slide before because I was too busy thinking about his other notes later on. So
Under the sea, said under the sea, yeah. Darling, it's better down where it's wetter, take it from me. Oh, up on the shore, they work all day. Out in the sun, they slave away. While we devoting full time to floating under.
So floating is actually coming up into our head register, doing a little flip through. It's like a slide on a fry. In musical theatre, you have to make a lot of use of your spoken sounds as well as your sung sounds. And yeah, I just love what he's done.
While we devoting full time to floating under the sea. The nude play the flute, the cop play the harp, the plays play the bass, the dance sound and sharp, the bass play the brass, the chub play the dub, and all that blowfish blow. The chub play the dub, and all that blowfish blow. Yeah, each little bell here, no one too well here. That's why it's hard to under the water. Yeah, we in love here, down in the muck here under the sea. What more is he looking for? Hey.
I'm going to have to go back and do that bit because I got a bit distracted there.
Brass, the chub play the dub, and all that blowfish blow. Yeah, each little bell here, no one too well here. That's why it's hard.
Na, 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 na. Who's doing that harmony there? Is it Ellie or is it?
And all that blowfish blow. Yeah, each little bell here, no one too well here.
Okay, listen to how many layers are in that part. Rachel's doing maybe 2 or 3. Ellie's doing a couple.
The nude play the flute, the cop play the harp, the plays play the bass, the dance sound and sharp, the bass play the brass, the chub play the dub, and all that blowfish blow. Yeah, each little bell here, no one too well here. That's why it's hard to under the water. Yeah, we in love here, down in the muck here under the sea. What more is he looking for? Hey, poor child, poor sweet child.
Who are you?
Don't be scared. Someone who can help.
I admit that in the past I've been a nasty. They weren't kidding when they called me, well, a witch. But you'll find that now.
They've layered Jeff.
Sweet child.
Who are you?
Don't be scared. We represent someone who can help.
And Jeff. But it's a few octaves down and Jeff is so funny.
I admit that in the past I've been a nasty. They weren't kidding when they called me, well, a witch. But you'll find that nowadays I've mended all my.
So they've layered his voice. He's done one take doing the bass rhythmic notes and then he's done one of his main vocal line. In recorded singing and vocal pop, in any work you do as a recording artist, you will nearly always be asked to layer your vocals so that the producer has got enough to play with and fill out the frequencies that one take may have missed. Hi. So they've done a lot of layers here. If you have ever done any work in the studio, you will understand vocal layering, and it's something that all singers need to understand, and understand that our voice picks up different things. The condenser mic picks up so much. I'm going to do a video for you in the next couple of weeks on what it sounds like as a recording artist. I do demos for producers kind of around, and yeah, it's a whole different type of singing to singing in a big room filled with people. So I will do you a separate video on that, but yeah, this has definitely got a few layers in it.
My ways, repented, seen the light and made a switch.
True? Yes.
And I fortunately know a little magic. It's a talent that I always have possessed.
And dear lady, please don't laugh. I use it on me.
Like, I can't believe this is his speaking voice. Like this. Are you stuck? Stuck? Come through there? Okay. Cool. Thank you. I've never heard anything so low. It literally sends the frequency through my body. I was in the car the other week listening to something, and it made my entire car vibrate from the bass. It was just insane, and it still blows my mind how our vocal folds can do this.
Half of the miserable, the lonely, and depressed.
Pathetic.
Poor unfortunate souls in pain.
Indeed. And that low note is just so clear. That's what I love about Jeff's notes. They're so clear.
Longing to be thinner than one wants to get the girl, and do I help them? Yes, indeed.
Those poor unfortunate souls are so sad, so true. They come flock.
Ellie's riff, I've never noticed that before.
Those poor unfortunate souls are so sad, so true. They come.
I love that, and I love the accuracy, and you can hear he's working right down through his first passage there, which is from his kind of like chest mixed area down into his very comfortable chest voice for him, and it's great.
Flocking to my cauldron, crying spells.
Do I help them? Yes, I do. Oh, but there is one more thing. We haven't discussed the subject of payment.
But I don't have
Well, I'm not asking much. What I want from you is your voice.
If you want.
I love Rachel's note. The highest note up there is on the A5, and it's beautifully controlled, and definitely up there in a falsetto sound. So falsetto is not a separate register to our head voice. It's kind of more just an extended area of our head voice, which tends to come with a lot more breathiness, a lot area qualities, a lot of kind of choral and classical sounds that come out up there. And yeah.
If you want to cross the bridge, my sweet, you've got to pay the toll. Take a gulp and take a breath and go ahead and sign the scroll. Flotsam, jetsam, now we've got our boys. The boss is on a roll. This poor unfortunate soul.
There's a lot of layers in Jeff's slides. So he's not just one layer of vocals. He's done a couple of layers of that slide, timed them slightly differently, turned the volume of them way down. Let's listen to that again. It is still wonderful. Don't get me wrong. He is incredible, but
Flotsam, jetsam, now we've got our boys. The boss is on a roll. This poor unfortunate soul.
one, the soul, which I believe is a D5. Like, I'm in my head register up there. He's doing an exceptional job. He is growling. I would say there is some strain and some tension for him trying to hit that note. He does hit that note, but hitting that note in a chest mix area is not a healthy choice, but it makes sense for this song. Ursula is a wicked witch, and this is the climax, this is the ending. It makes sense. If you strain like this all the time, you're going to end up with some issues with your vocal folds and damage there. So let's just listen to the growl, but you'll hear that top note lingers after he's already started sliding. It's a mix between the reverb and another slide layer that he's got behind it.
Boys, the boss is on a roll. This poor unfortunate
Belugas are frugal as we see. Larynxis, glossitis, et max laryngitis, la voce de me.
So this is a really good example for you of how Rachel uses her chest mix higher up, and it sounds quite well blended with her head mix. So doing this part, because it's a lot slower than at the beginning, I can hear quite clearly where her head register comes in. The first couple of notes, chest mix, and then the top two are in a head mix. And as she goes up, it's more and more of the head mix sound. But it's very well balanced. A really good example to listen to if you're wanting to listen to the female passaggi transition.
Les poissons, les poissons.
How I love les poissons. Love to chop and serve little fish. First I cut off their head, then I pull out their bones. Ah mais oui, ça c'est toujours délice. Les poissons, les poissons. With the cleaver.
Man, he's such a psycho. It's so good. So good. I love his acting. I also like that in this song, it is a lot more spoken, but he's still playing with the pitch of his spoken voice. Using a lot of his head mix register for this spoken, which is, it's not something you hear very often. You don't hear his sung voice until right at the end, which is quite different from the character voice that he's putting on here.
I hacked them too. I pull out what's inside and I serve it up fried. 'Cause I love little fishes, don't you? Nothing is happening. Time for a little vocal romantic stimulation.
There you see her, sitting there across the way. She don't got a lot to say, but there's something about her. And you don't know why, but you're dying to try. You wanna kiss the girl. Yes, you want her. Look at her, you know you do. It's possible she wants you to, but there's one way to ask her. It don't take a word, not a single word. You wanna kiss the girl.
Sing it to me now.
Sha la 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 la, don't be scared. You got the mood prepared. Go on and kiss the girl. Sha la 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 la, don't stop it now. Don't try to hide it. How you wanna kiss the girl? Sha la 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 la, float along and listen to the song. The song say kiss the girl. Sha la 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 la, the music play. Do what the music say. Kiss the girl. Kiss the girl. Kiss the girl.
What a lovely little.
Lane is so strange and cool. Like, I could never make the sounds that he's making. And there's just so many of them going on in the background that I'm not even noticing because I'm so used to thinking that it's a drum beat. And it's not. I still can't comprehend beatboxing as a whole. I find it so fascinating, the movement you have to have, all of the parts of tissue, like not just your muscles, all of the tissue movements that you have to have. If you don't know much about beatboxing and you want the voice science version of it and you want to see exactly what happens in our vocal tract when we are beatboxing, video on it a while ago. So go to my channel and scroll right down. I think it's like the third or fourth video in. A little bit gross if you don't like anatomy, but if you do, then it is worth watching.
Try to make my dear look different. Things are working out according to my ultimate design. Soon I'll have that little mermaid and the ocean will be mine.
Now we can walk, now we can run.
Now we can stay within the sun. Just you and me.
Walk.
And I can be home under the sea. Under the sea.
Sing it with me now.
All of those high notes in that last part for Rachel were up there in kind of like a head mix, and it was so strong on those high notes. It was just so incredible. was so strong. I loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. And that is sopranos.
Pathetic.
There's not really much for me to point out to you in terms of technique or things that could be changed in this song. I really love everything they do with their voice. You don't hear quite as much subharmonically from Jeff in this one, but his slides are so good. And I love that him and Lane just hold the beat down so well together. The way it's been written, the way it's arranged, and the way they bounce off each other is really, really cool. I hope you enjoyed this video and had some fun. I'm not sure what my next video will be, but I hope you will join me for it then. Bye!